friends! Today on our nature hike, we're going to be looking for spring wildflowers. They have a special name though. They're called spring ephemerals. Ephemeral is a word that means lasting for a very short time. So these wildflowers come in the springtime and they do not last very long. They're here from about mid-April to the second week of May. This one is called the trout lily. I wonder if we can find out why it's called the trout lily. Look at that spotted leaf. Maybe the person that saw it for the first time thought that that leaf looked like a trout, like the fish. There's the blossom. So these flowers, like all flowers, need sunlight, and they are early spring blossoming flowers. And what do the trees look like in the early spring? They have very small leaves. The trees are not completely leafed out. So what does that mean for the flowers? It means the sunlight can get through the canopy of the trees down to the forest floor, right where the flowers need it to blossom. Let's keep searching and see what other types of spring ephemerals we see today. This one is actually past already. It was blossoming last week. This one's called a cut leaf toothwort. Look at that leaf. It is cut. The person that discovered that called it exactly what it looked like. I hope you can see below these trees just a whole sea of white blossoms. Those are the spring ephemeral trout lily. This spring ephemeral is a special one called a trillium. It's not quite blooming yet. That bud will burst open in a couple days on the next warm sunny day. Here's another little grouping of trillium, and this blossom is just starting to open up. These wildflowers grow in the woodlands, but in the spring before the trees have completely leafed out. So when there's no leaves on the trees, what can happen? The sunlight can get through to the forest floor, right to those wildflowers. These are really special spring ephemeral. Really fun because they look like little green umbrellas. And there's often many of them all together. This is called a May apple. And these are not quite blooming yet, but when they do, they will have a lovely white blossom. Here's a tiny little white trillium right along the path. I nearly walked by without seeing it. This is a beautiful wetland spring ephemeral. This one's called marsh marigold. See these wonderful little yellow flowers. Here's something to think about. You don't see any buckthorn here. Buckthorn, as you know, is an invasive species that is not native to North America. So, of course, not to northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. Buckthorn leaves out so early in the spring that it shades the spring ephemerals from the sunlight that they need. So that's one of the reasons it was so important for us to have bye-bye buckthorn and help to get rid of the buckthorn on our property so that we can greet the spring ephemeral wildflowers every year. Those are the spring ephemerals I saw on my hike today. But that's just a few of the spring ephemerals that we have in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. So when you go on your hike, I hope you're looking for spring ephemerals, and I hope you'll let me know if you saw any of the ones I saw today, and if you saw some different ones that I didn't see. And I'd love it if you'd let me know. Have a beautiful hike in nature and enjoy looking for spring ephemerals.